if you come in and didn't know anything about fire, you would think, oh, man, y'all going to catch the woods on fire. Y'all are starting a forest fire.
Yeah.
What really is it that we're doing? That's what we're trying to prevent, right?
The main thing is like you're burning off that leaf litter and getting the dirt exposed to the sunlight. So when you burn all that leaf litter off the top of the ground, you're exposing that ground to be able to produce. It's already got seed in the ground. Natural grasses and things like that are going to come up. Different kinds of forbs, flowers, or whatever, as long as you got enough sunlight hitting the ground. So you're opening that ground up to be able to produce something inside your woods.
As Malcolm Reed would say, hey, welcome back to the Buck Junkies Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Williams.
Heck yeah.
What y'all up to?
Man, me and Mikey are fresh off the road. I think Mikey's struggling today.
Yeah.
I'm
A little bit of jet lag.
I'm a little stopped up too.
All of us have been putting some miles down the past week.
Heck yeah. Y'all was gone. I was on vacation. Y'all went to the NWTF. Me and Mikey went to Texas to scout out some Rio birds.
See, I think me and Jamie got the short end of the stick because y'all went to warm weather every time y'all travel. Me and Jamie went to like negative sub-zero every time.
Oh, yeah. Y'all went to Indiana too.
Heck yeah.
You didn't see no turkeys up there?
Yeah,
we seen a ton.
Snow.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Turkeys everywhere.
Yeah. Well, me and Mikey, we went to the dry climate out in North Texas, and the weather was beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice. It was, about 75, 80 degrees?
Yeah. It got up hot. I mean, it was warm during the day, but man, what was weird about it, we was riding around just kind of scouting this property out, and you would drip down in these canyons, and the weather would change. 30 degrees.
It was almost 40 degrees because when we were up on the top of those, like the higher points, and we would drop down in those rock faces down in the bottom, there was still ice that you could walk on the water down in those little water holes and stuff.
That was crazy.
And it was 80 degrees up where we parked the four-wheeler at.
And you would notice, and like, man, we were riding with Chuck. Well, he was ripping through there. We drove 10 and a half hours to go to Memphis. It was Memphis, Texas. Like you can't get rid of this place.
No.
And then we got there. We rode. It's a long ride. I mean, all the way across Arkansas, all the way across Oklahoma. We wasn't in Texas, but about 70 miles.
It amazes me that the terrain changes that much. That's a long drive, but
there ain't
just
nothing
10 hours
out there.
west of Texas.
Yeah, nothing.
We get out in Oklahoma, and it's flat as a delta.
Cattle farms everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they'd have these rock plateaus that's just stuck up out in the cow pasture. I don't know what those were called.
Crazy. Buttes.
That's
buttes. I didn't know what a butte was. Now it just means a big rock.
Big rock.
It looked like something out of Wild West movies. What are we going to talk about today?
Man, we got all kind of stuff to cover. We're kind of our main topic. We didn't get to really speak a whole lot to the NWTF. We spent a few minutes on it last time, but you wasn't here. So we're going to give you the full workup on it and go in details. How much money we spent, where'd we go, what'd we eat, the whole shebang. But first off, we're going to do a little news and updates.
This is not news. This is soap opera.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy, ain't it?
Dude.
This dude's going to prison.
For a while.
Yeah. He got, how many years did he get? Go ahead and talk about it.
So I'm sure some of y'all, it's not super, super fresh. I mean, I think this all finalized back in December, but.
He just got sentenced this week.
Yeah. CJ Alexander up in Ohio got the bright idea. He thought he was going to make a bunch of money and poach a buck.
Yeah, his plan was, he done told his wife, like, yeah, we're going to make enough money off this deer. We're going to have all these people reach out to us. We're going to pay her. We're going to build a house. We're going to put money in the bank. We're going to retire. And
why? Just because it was a record deer?
Yeah.
Or how is that going to make you money? Killing a big
kill.
It was over 200-inch deer.
Typical.
So do you make money from that by taking it around and letting people look at it or something? Or how do you?
His thing was, he just thought, I guess, like Mossy Oak.
Yeah.
Or
you know how it was. Like when I was a kid, it's like, man, if I ever shoot that state record, I'm going to be set for life.
You're a rock star.
Yeah.
The deer.
But you know how it is, like a SCA contest in our world. You get up there and tell all these things you use to cook that steak. Same thing he was going to do with the deer.
Oh, he's going to start endorsing products.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Become a hunting superstar, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I remember when it first happened, they were saying he killed it legally, and he was had his buddies saying he killed it legally and all that. It ended up, it's more than him.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 different people
involved with this.
Tied in.
But they smooth poached this deer.
Yeah, they done pulled up GPS locations from Snapchat. He had Snapchat messages. He had text messages to his wives, his buddies, and basically going through the whole thing, like talking it out. And it was all written evidence at that point.
Wow.
Pretty much the state of Ohio does not play on the wildlife fisheries side of it.
I was amazed that they actually giving him time over it, because most of these game violations and stuff you see, people they get slapped a lot of times. Yeah, they'll lose their license for a few years or something like that. They may take their equipment, but they usually don't give out jail time. But you think it's because of the way they planned it and the whole covering it up.
Are they
all
actually
that
giving him jail time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's jail time and then
Like 40,000 in fines.
40,000 in
Reimbursed
fines.
the Department of Wildlife for their investigation.
Where they said he was
And
going
then-
to jail.
I think he got a little bit of time served, but he's going to have to do some time.
it's like
I saw it on Facebook or somewhere yesterday.
I pulled up one thing on Facebook, but the other was
He has to reimburse him for the deer. Like, well, that one deer was
1,000.
35,000, and the other one was like 4,000 or 5,000 or something like that.
It's so many years of probation, so many years of community service. Like it's
Well, the thing about it was, if I understood it right, back when this initially happened, where he killed it at, that guy had game pictures of the deer.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah, he stole one of the cards.
Yeah, he stole. I think it was 2 different cards he stole from cameras. But God, how can you not realize that you're caught? I mean, you're screwed and you're caught. You just fess up and you're done.
so it looks like he was sentenced to only 90 days in prison, which I'm sure.
That's 90 days.
Well, I don't know. Does that you have
It's
to serve
91
that full
more than I
90?
want.
Do what?
Do you have to serve that full 90, or is it?
I know he got some of it. Some of it was like time served or something, but
43,000 in penalties. Let's see. I think they took his land. I think they took his hunting property. It was something else. It was freaking.
Ohio does not play.
No. But like, I mean, we joke about doing some junk like that, but I never in my mind even that's joking around a campfire. Like, hey, I'd shoot that deer off the road if it was 200-ish. No, like, come on. You're throwing your entire life of your outdoor and hunting down the drain.
I don't see how somebody could think they shot a deer like that and then they're going to tell everybody they killed it legally and and become famous over it. I mean, you're going to get caught.
It's not like you're the only one that's seen this deer.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of his hometown, you might would get away with it, but you know as well as I do that, heck, where we live, if somebody sees a big deer, it's somebody knows.
Somebody going to know you shot it.
Well, that and people are dumb. Keep your mouth shut. Like,
I mean, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Well, you wanted the horns, whatever, but that's
Luckily, we don't have that problem because
That
I
was
ain't seen
cool.
no 200-inch deer to be tempted.
they had
So,
a big old stupid tax on
Yeah.
that one.
other thing, our Beast and Brews got rescheduled.
I saw that. What was up? They were
Cold
saying,
weather and bad weather.
man, it's supposed to be beautiful this weekend. I had a problem with that. It's going to be near.
No, I thought that's why they did it.
70-something
No.
degrees.
No, I
last
think it was
weekend.
just everybody's got something going on that weekend, and I think a lot of last minute, some of the teams couldn't make it and stuff like that.
Got something going on March 29th, too.
Yeah.
That's right in the heart of turkey season.
busy.
Jack. Yeah.
But if you want to go and check it out, it's in Senatobia, March 29th. Go check it out. Definitely be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun event. We cooked it last year. It's a good time. You can go down there, hang out, talk to everybody, probably try some stuff.
Yeah, you definitely.
I doubt I'm going to make it.
It's going to be going
Down.
rup, 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 rup.
That's right. I'll be backed up against the
Oh,
tree.
speaking of the man, Tyler, he busted out the turkey call yesterday.
Did y'all mouth call?
He done heard enough stuff going on. He got the box call out and he was making some noise.
Okay.
When did I miss that? Was I out looking for sheds?
Yeah, I think so.
I would
yeah.
never do that if you were in the room. Just so you know.
So in other words, what he's saying is I probably sound as bad as what he sounds.
Mike, we went to, before we went out of town, we went to the NWTF local chapter, the soda chapter banquet?
Soda.
Y'all were out of town. We got another one coming up next week if y'all want to go. It's the this one's for the Lewisburg Ducks Unlimited chapter. It's the Sheen event or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's going to be
That's at the gin.
the Gin and Nesbitt,
Yeah.
what you call it? Hernando, really. I think it's Hernando City Limits, ain't it?
Us old people call it Nesbitt to us.
Nesbitt. So I noticed on our outline every week, we always talk about on the ground.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of hard to get stuff on the ground right now.
No, it ain't. I saw you put this on here. Let me tell about what I got on the ground first. Our buddy Zane, he's a local game warden,
Smoking them cows.
but he is a cow killer, and I don't know how many he's done killed. He's probably up over 40 or 50 right now. But he left that banquet the other night and killed 4 and stayed at that banquet till 10 o'clock. And within an hour and a half, he'd had 4. He sent me a picture of 4 of them in the truck.
We got too many coyotes.
And everybody thinks coyote just go out there and shoot it. Freaking coyote is smart. You
Oh.
got to know what you're doing to get on one.
We listened to a podcast about this guy. I don't remember who it was on the way. That's all we did was listen to podcasts yesterday. And this guy was talking about it's the hard. Now this guy said it's the smartest animal that we hunt in North America.
Yeah,
because of what you're talking about, how they adapt
and they pay attention.
And I think it is a difference on if you're out west and you got wide open prairie ground versus us. You're in a small 30-acre field and got surrounded by trees. They gonna bust.
By the time you see that coyote, he's already smelled where you're at.
Winded you, so it ain't no just go out there and sit up and shoot a coyote.
What's the most important thing you took away from that podcast we listened to, Mike?
Man, you gotta have the wind right.
That's the number one thing.
You cannot just go out there and just expect the field won't just sit down and say, well, he's gonna come across this field, and if your wind is remotely blowing across that field and it swirls or anything. You know what I'm saying?
So we always joke about if turkeys could smell, you'd never kill them.
Yeah. Is
the coyote the four-legged turkey?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah, they can see and they can smell. I mean,
and they can hear.
Their downside is they're canine, so they're super curious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they come to the calls. I always thought, you put old Fox Pro out there, play the distressed rabbit, you can get one to come check you out. This guy said mainly he uses coyote sounds. They're coming to other coyotes. It depends on time of year. That was the whole thing. And I'm so curious about it because it sounds like it's fun.
Oh, I guarantee it'd be fun. I'd love to go out west and
we can go up Jay's and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a buddy of mine. He sent me a video a couple of days ago of him out there close to us on the farms that neighbor us. And he's filming through his thermal scope where you can see him shooting them. But he's got them calling them up with those coyote calls.
Yeah.
Come bouncing across the field.
So he wearing them out?
Well, they clicked one off pretty quick. But, when you fire that shot, that other one's it's going.
Gone, yeah.
And he's shooting at it, trying to catch it before it gets out of the field. We ain't got no big field. So
yeah. He's hunting like a ranch, right? A cattle farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we definitely have some areas that we've seen them. When we set up on them at night, we really didn't know what we were doing. We just went out there for fun, and we called one up. But he winded us pretty damn quick, didn't he?
I think he heard us.
Oh, yeah.
And we had two boys in the back that were playing with their phones while we were calling coyotes.
So, what else we got, Mark?
Man, all I want to know is, tell me about that picture.
Oh, the sunset?
When I first seen that, I say, man, Malcom done got bored. He done Photoshopped something.
Oh, no, that was real life. It was amazing. Actually, Mikey snapped that pic.
I had to belly crawl about 500 yards through them cactus.
See, I know better than that.
This land, this property that we were on out in Texas, has elk on it, and it has deer, has mule deer, has all kinds of things on it. But we were riding around, and we saw one up. He was kind of up on the high point. Just happened to be where the sun was setting behind them, and I don't know. It just for some reason it ain't elk season, and they hadn't dropped their horns, and that thing was just hanging out.
Yeah.
So we pulled up, and I was trying to snap pictures. I was and Mike's, I'm getting out, so he jumped out, grabbed the camera, and went around, and just got a perfect picture of him. You couldn't. It looked like an artist picture. Mm-hmm. That elk silhouetted with the sun going down behind him out there. It was beautiful.
So we need. That's where we need to go shed hunting. I can probably see elk sheds.
We saw some of those. Yeah, we found some.
I just couldn't imagine walking up on a shed that big.
Oh, they're huge. This one guy showed us a picture that was out there, a perfect set he had found, and they were, I don't know, 4 foot.
So
they're huge.
They were hanging on the fence out there.
There's a bunch of them.
There was one. It was, it wasn't a great big one, but it was, it was 2.5, 3 feet high. It was over at waist high. And it was stuck in the ground, just hanging on the fence.
The whitetails there had started dropping theirs, but the elk hadn't started dropping. And that was a question I had. That's like, all right, so elk season there, the bugling season is like late August, 1st September. Now those animals haven't dropped their horns yet. Imagine how many inches of horn they grow to go full velvet, to harden up, and to be ready to rut in August. We're here 1st of March right now. That's a lot of growth in a short amount of time.
Yeah. So that one we took the picture of, it was pretty close to 400 inches.
Yeah.
If it wasn't. So it's growing 400 inches of bone. And
like how much protein and how much nutrition does that technically have to have? Because it's got to be more than a whitetail.
I don't know. I don't know. The stuff growing out there, man, it's a desert.
That's what I say. There don't look like much out there for one to eat.
There's not, but there's a lot growing, and they told us it's like high protein stuff, but it's very, very low moisture content.
Yeah.
And those things, like I went and sat in the stands. We were kind of pig hunting one night on a feeder, and one happened to walk by me, and I got to watch, like, I don't know, it's probably 7 or 8 of them. They filtered down this ridge, and they're eating on everything out there. And I was like, man, I know they ain't eating cactus.
Yeah.
But there's I saw you pick up some, Mike, and kind of bust it open. It wasn't, I don't know.
Seed pods and different little
stuff like that.
It looked like some kind of forb or something, but it was so dry you couldn't really identify it. But
it's different country than we're used to seeing, man. There ain't no pine trees, there ain't no oak trees. We saw in the draws and like the canyons, there's cottonwoods.
Yeah,
and that's
where there's water.
Yeah, but other than that, it's mesquite.
Yeah.
And that's
mesquite and cedar, and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So was any of the other, there's whitetail out there?
Yeah.
Mule deer?
Yep.
Anything else dropping at this time, or?
That's about, we saw coyotes. They said there were porcupines there. There's badgers.
Did see roadrunners.
Saw roadrunners everywhere. Quail. You talk about a population of wild quail. It's exploded out there. It's amazing. I saw some big rabbits. Big jackrabbits.
Yeah, them things are huge. We seen them in Colorado.
And sandhill crane. They would fly over. Like I sat there and I could see them coming over the ridge. And I was like, man, what are those? I know they ain't geese. Oh, it
was flocks.
Yeah, flocks of them.
So we were up in Indiana this past weekend, and it was cold. And we got to talking with a good buddy of ours up there that's what he's more passionate about, shed hunting, than anything. Like, he's like, I don't even deer hunt. He said, I wait till everybody gets done, I shed hunt.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, okay. Like, I enjoy shed hunt, but I don't, like, I'd rather deer hunt than shed hunt, till he showed me the pictures.
Oh, yeah. He found a set, and he said, just
guesstimating the spread.
Yeah, it was like, it's in the 190s. It was huge.
Wow.
Guesstimating. He's got sheds that are unreal.
He's serious about shit.
Serious.
Yeah. Would he do it just walking and looking? Or
I don't know. See,
thermal or?
I don't really know his real name. I know his real name, but I don't know his like full name. But his name's Teen Wolf. And he looks like
Joker.
Yeah, he looks like Teen Wolf and good as gold. But the Sun Gun he's a shed hunting dude.
Well, one of the guys on the property we were on was using a drone, and they had spotted some sheds, and they were down in those bottoms trying to. It ain't really a bottom; it's a canyon.
It's like it's just a canyon.
Yeah, and they would go down in there and try to recover them. But I don't know if you can see whitetail. You probably could because they stand out. I did notice when I was sitting there on that feeder that one night, some whitetails came out there, and there was a bunch of little bucks, but their horns are white as they can be. They're not the brownish, you don't see chocolate color and all that there on them. Now the elk's horns kind of look like, the same color.
Yeah.
But the deer horns there were a lot lighter. I noticed
that one shed they picked up, that whitetail shed that was out there, it did look kind of like just dull.
Yeah.
It didn't have a lot of color to it. And I guess that's from them not rubbing and.
I don't know, but we didn't see a lot of we saw one tree that we thought was a pretty good one. Now, I'm sure they rub on them cedars and stuff. We just didn't see it, but it didn't. I don't know how they behave. That's one thing we didn't know how the turkeys are going to behave out there. We didn't have no trouble finding them though. Me and Mikey got a honey hole, Jack. We're finna go get us a Rio here in about a month.
Well, so what are we doing at the farm? We've had a little bit of mix of everything. I feel like.
Yeah. Y'all went down this week, didn't you?
Yeah. What day?
Yesterday.
You
went the day before yesterday too.
So we're getting ready to burn, and that's what we've been working on.
And we started this, 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been playing, and anybody speak to this more than me because I'm learning as we go, but it's kind of one of them deals like you don't know when you're going to burn. You're strictly based it on the weather.
Yeah, Mike, you can kind of take the lead on this one. You kind of got you're doing the plan on ours with Rob. He's our local.
Yeah, so you have to fill out a burn plan, which is it's kind of like any other. You go to the doctor's office or whatever. It's got boxes you check off, and you tell the location by longitude, latitude where it's at. You tell how many acres you're going to burn. It's better to tell them more than less because if you burn more than that, there may be some kind of penalty there, or, you may get a slap on the hand for burning more than you're supposed to in your plan. So it's better to put more on there. But you got to get that notarized. You got 30 days from the time it gets notarized to get that plan done, executed.
So if you don't do it, then you got to do a whole nother one?
You can go back and get it re-notarized. Just let them know that you're running off the same plan. We had to bump it a few weeks or whatever. So we need another 30 days to execute it.
And that's kind of what you're talking about on ours. We've been starting our plan, and we started with breaks.
Yeah.
That's to stop the fires. And did y'all do any of that yesterday? Or I guess y'all already knocked that out before we went out.
That's pretty much knocked out.
We checked a few. Like, we walked and made sure, like, some of that stuff around the pines, I may take a leaf blower tomorrow and just blow off one more time.
Mm-hmm.
But most everything is either going to be broke by Greenfield, or Mike and them disc and tilled, and Jamie used the mulcher. So we got pretty much everything lined out, and we checked everything yesterday. But, part of it Jamie done was just catching property lines on some of the new property, and getting that lined out to kind of figure out. And I don't know, did burn that? Is it any intentions on burning that next year?
Next year.
I mean, I guess to me, that's the biggest thing of being a landowner is I don't want to get on the neighbor.
Yeah.
The worst thing that happen is that fire get away from you and it burns somebody else's property.
Yeah, because if you ain't got a good relationship with them, you could be, there could be some restitution there.
Yeah. Well, we don't need no restitution.
Oh.
We're going to put it out. What concerns me, and I guess it's the biggest thing against the fire, probably what determines if you can do it or not, is the wind.
The wind, yeah.
And what are we rated at?
What are we rated at?
Yeah, for our, said.
We're between 5, one of them is like 5 to 20, I think, 5 to 18, somewhere in there is where we.
Mile per hour
wind. So that kind of covers most winds. You don't want to be burning in 20, 30 mile an hour winds. I mean, you might be able to burn some wood, some pine thickets in that kind of a wind, but the main thing is that, we're burning some grass. We definitely want to be out there in those high winds like that because it'll carry it fast.
That's like gunpowder.
Yeah, it's away from you quick.
That's where it pays to have somebody knows what you're doing.
So, I mean, and I guess the consensus on a burn thing like that, and what most people like me that you don't think about it. I mean, I know now as we've done it a little bit, but if you come in and didn't know anything about fire, you'd think, oh man, y'all going to catch the woods on fire. Y'all are starting a forest fire.
Yeah.
What really is it that we're doing? That's what we're trying to prevent, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of it is just getting fuel off the ground to prevent anything like that. Because your forest is years and years and years of leaf litter just falling on the ground. Some of it does decompose, but there's a lot still there, especially like pine trees and stuff. It takes those a lot longer to decompose than a, oak tree or something like that.
And that pine thicket, yesterday I run my hand down, it's probably 6 or 8 inches thick.
It's
just
never
pine straw.
been burned.
Never been burned. So you're taking some fuel off the ground, but the main thing is like you're burning off that leaf litter and getting the dirt exposed to the sunlight. So when you burn all that leaf litter off the top of the ground, you're exposing that ground to be able to produce. It's already got seed in the ground. Natural grasses and things like that are going to come up. Different kinds of forbs, flowers, or whatever, as long as you got enough sunlight hitting the ground. So you're opening that ground up to be able to produce something inside your woods.
So it's creating habitats, creating beddings, creating food source.
Yeah.
It's great for the birds. It's great for the deer to move through. And that's why we want to do it. It's really about land management. It's not just to start a fire.
Yeah. And I know places are not going to be productive like that. I mean, we got a lot of shade. Some of those pines, they're so thick that, we're just pretty much getting fuel off the ground at this point.
To prevent a big fire. Like if lightning was to strike and start a forest fire or something like that, it's not going to go if you've been managing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we're going to dive deeper into this afterwards, but like when I was walking around there yesterday, I'm anxious to see how much that low-hanging pine straw that's like hanging in limbs 6 or 8 foot tall, how much that's going to clear and open up them low-hanging limbs. And who knows, you might be able to see 50, 75, 100 yards in there after this. So I don't know.
Is there a difference in, like, I know what the field fire looked like. It got tall.
Yeah.
You get flames up over your head. But in the woods, are you expecting the flames to do that, or is it just like a creep?
No, I don't think it's a creep. When you like those, I mean, it's a good way to put it. It's like watching paint dry.
Oh, it's a slow. It ain't going to build a firewall.
No,
I'll bring my leaf blower if we want to juice it up.
Yeah.
Nothing. We may have that.
May have to do that
because you may have to run strip fires through the middle to get it to burn a lot faster, and you may have to put a little wind behind it to get it to go.
How'd you use what'd y'all use the leaf blower for now?
So I know we talked about the world's most bad to the bone leaf blower. And we blew off all the roads because we had like some of them roads on that property are gravel based. So I just blew all the leaves off the roads and let the road itself be the fire break. But I got to blowing one of the back roads on the north fence. You know, we planted it in clover. So I started blowing off the food plots. And I got to thinking, I was like, why are we not doing this to all the clover food plots? Like,
we did.
Yeah, they went back and done it.
Oh, you did? And so what you're blowing off is all the leaves, all the pine needle, anything that's blowed down all winter long covers that plot up. Well, it don't want to grow.
Yeah.
But once you get all that off of it, you've got this area that turkeys will just want to strut and show off.
I mean, within a day, there was turkeys on camera after blew that road off.
Yeah.
Like they were there.
I mean, it sounds like a dumb idea carrying a leaf blower in the woods, but I can tell you what, that Echo or whatever name brand, that's a bad dude.
Yeah.
Better hold on to it. We're going to have 2 of them going this weekend. I'm going to bring mine down.
There you go.
No, it makes sense. I mean, if them leaves laying there, whatever you got planted is going to
It's going to wilt underneath it.
So y'all went down and did a few little videos yesterday at the smokehouse at farm at the camp, and y'all went and did a little shed hunting. What'd y'all find?
Jamie and Marley are 0-0.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say full on shed hunting. We had some time to kill, and I wanted to go look where we always found Ricky's.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always find a shed on that ridge every year.
Yep.
I was like, we'll just go look. And we were kind of walking down through there, and I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I try to find a good trail, and I walk the deer trail because heck, the deer walks the trail, so might as well. And we just happened to be cutting through, and Jamie was kind of up a little bit in front of me, and he had just walked through there. I mean, 2 or 3 minutes before. And I'm 30 yards. I just happened to look over, and there it is. You seen the main beam curled up, laid on the ground. I said, darn, that's a pretty good one. Walked over and found it was a half of 8 points, so a perfect 4 side that was.
Did you bring it? Is it in the truck?
It's in the back of the canal. But it was probably a 3.5-year-old deer, I would guess. It's a good deer. And then I found another half of a 6 point that was probably, he was heavy, but he was 14-inch wide, something like that, nothing crazy. But I'm ready. I'm telling you, I can't wait to do this burn this weekend and walk behind that fire just to see what you see.
Well, that's why I said you might find them. They're going to be a little roasty.
Yeah, it'd be fine. Chocolate horn.
Makes a little pretty color on it.
Yeah.
We found a bunch of little spikes and stuff like that you never would see. And that's another thing good to run that fire through there because, you run those sheds will ruin a tractor tire.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
But you can walk through there after that fire and pick up them little ones. And so you're getting them out of the way in case you ever are coming back through there with equipment or something. And it'll help.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it because shed hunting is fun, and you do get to walk the property and, get to see stuff and find trails and find bedding areas. And I use it more for, man, I didn't know that was here, But we had a busy day yesterday. Had some good recipes. That'll be coming out later. But other than that, that's about it for the farm week.
Burn plan this weekend in a full effect.
Friday and Saturday.
We come back next week. We'll be able to tell you how that went. Hopefully we won't be blistered. Mikey
or in jail.
Yeah. So tell me about the NWTF. I've always wanted it. I've never been, and now it's on my must-do list.
You got to do it. Me and Jamie's probably going to have 2 different outlooks on it, and both of them are good. I mean, I look at it from, man, it's a social networking thing. You go out there and get to talk to companies that you normally wouldn't see. You get to meet people you normally wouldn't meet, and it's a neat experience, but you better be ready to fight the crowd. You better be ready to be around 80,000 people.
Is there that many people there? 80,000?
So
there's no telling how many.
Last year was a record year. And the rumor has it, I haven't heard this from nobody from NWTF, but everybody was talking about it at the conference, is Friday morning, they had already outsold last year.
Dang. So they
and still had 2 whole days to go.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. But I guess kind of, how do you want to describe, what would you call NWTF?
I mean, it's
just a trade show.
Yeah, but it's different. I don't know. It's not just a trade show because it's more like most trade shows is kind of strictly business. Man, these guys,
it was a bunch of interaction from big companies
that you normally
big
wouldn't
people
get.
in the outdoor industries that talk to the average guy.
Your famous guys
Yeah.
are approachable there.
Yeah,
What you see on TV or on these hunting videos and all that.
But it was Thursday was not bad. I really, really enjoyed Thursday. We went and to do what you want to do, you really can't do it in one day. You really can't. I
So
mean,
when
if you
does it open to the public?
Thursday.
yeah.
So we went up on Wednesday night. Trent and them already had their booth set up. We went with Trent Ellis and Corey with Monarch. And we that was our base station. Like I threw my bags in their booth and kind of had somewhere to go. And then Thursday we got up early, had a little coffee, had a little breakfast, and Jamie's buddy, Brad, went with us. And I've always known Brad to be pretty peculiar individual, but
So I can't. Don't take it the wrong way, Brad, but I don't. He tickles me to death. So if you're going somewhere you don't know where you go, you put in GPS coordinates and Waze app. Well, the purpose of that in my mind is because I don't know where I'm going. I want that to tell me where I'm going.
and keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah.
Brad's 100. Well, he's a 180. So Brad puts the directions in, but hits freaking mute. He don't want that dang woman telling him what to do.
He's just using it for a suggestion guide.
Yeah.
So when we only missed like 5 or 6 turns,
We missed the same exit 3 times.
I imagine it's better than me because Mikey was relying on me to navigate, and I screwed us all up. So I can't talk about somebody's following map.
We were almost home and we made a wrong turn, was headed to Blytheville.
Yeah.
We went north on 55 to the south.
Maps tell me, stay left, stay left. I was, no, go right. Bam, here we go. We looped around. We headed back north yesterday. We was almost home. And then couldn't get off for 20
what,
miles
69?
No, we come 40.
Oh,
40 all the way
They went
across.
north to St. Louis. Well, traffic was backed up. I said, take out, and Mikey, it'll lead us right down there. And it did not. It led us back north.
Y'all got out of traffic, didn't you?
Yeah.
He was out of the traffic.
We wasn't sitting still.
But no, we got
one part of the road turned to gravel on us one time.
I don't know where the heck y'all's at,
Some service road.
Bad part of town, service road.
but
So,
I knew about the Brad GPS issue ahead of the game.
yeah.
I know we had issue with windshield wipers till we was like going through a monsoon.
Oh, but was it storming?
it rained all the way up there on us.
I,
Like,
mean, I don't know. I couldn't see. We didn't have no windshield wipers.
Jamie's texting me the whole route up there. He will not turn the windshield wipers on. And like mine was on high.
Does he believe in rain X or something?
Yeah.
No, I don't even think we had that. I was like, Brad, I mean, I'm trying not to complain. I'm right with you, but man, I can't see. He turned them on. Well, so you can't see any better with them on or off. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure they put them on a vehicle for a purpose. But
I think he's just scared he's going to wear them out and have to buy some new ones.
Did he have his headlights on?
heck, I don't know. I couldn't see. I don't know.
So Jamie couldn't see, didn't know where he was going. He was already cold, so he reached over there and, got climate control trucks and bumped it up a couple of degrees for the passenger side. Can't do that
I
either.
can't do that. You gotta have them.
They got to be the same number.
Oh,
He just needs to buy like a 1980s Chevrolet pickup
yeah.
and just.
that nothing works on it.
But anyways, we get up there. We had a house. Everything was great. Got up Thursday morning, made it to there. We left at about 8 on Thursday because I wanted to be there before the gates open because it takes you. By the time you get parked and get walked in, I mean, it's 30 minutes from parking to gate usually.
What does it cost to get in?
It depends if you're with Brad or not.
That's
The average person can park pretty cheap. You go with Brad, it costs you about $80 to get in the parking lot.
So parking's $30, and it's not. Parking sucks because there's so many people, and there's no good way to park up there. But
Thursday was not too.
Thursday
That-
wasn't
At Opryland?
at Opryland Hotel.
Okay.
To get in the show, it costs you technically nothing because if you're already an NWTF member, you just go in and register and you're in.
Yeah.
If you're not, you create a membership, which is $35.
Yeah, I think so. I did. That's a win-win for me. I think I created a membership for $30-something bucks and then got a $25 or $30 Bass Pro gift
They send
card.
you a gift card for
It pretty
creating a
much cost me
membership.
like $5.
So really, it don't cost maybe $5 or $10 if you're not a member to get in. So we got in and stopped and got us some coffee at the coffee shop. Waited to the line because you stop at the gate, and luckily we all had vendor passes, so we got right in, got set up in the booth, and we started I tried to go every day early to see people just because that's the only
Catch it
time
before it gets crowded.
Yeah, it gets crowded. Probably about 9:30, it was crowded. Oak gates open at 9:30, it's crowded, and Jamie's like, "Holy smokes!" And I'm like, "No, you ain't seen nothing yet. You hold tight."
So is this thing, is it at the, it's at the hotel?
Dude, I don't know how many acres that
So it's
thing.
at the front part of it, at the convention
So-
part of it.
You walk in the main entrance door, where they got the big garden. Like the center of the hotel is just that big garden with
Oh,
the river and everything through it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you walk through all that and you go to the
Ballroom side?
Delta exhibit or something.
Delta on the backside where all the sports bars and stuff are.
Yeah, you walk through all that and you go to the back, and there's 2 big conference rooms that are, I mean, I don't know how big they are. I don't know how big that front room is or that back room. I mean, it's tens of thousands of
Well, they
square
have
feet.
big shows and stuff there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's huge.
But it's like an exhibition center.
Mhm. You walk in the main entrance in the big room, and to the right, you kind of go you go in the main show, and to the left, they have the taxidermy contest, and then there's probably 50 or 75 vendors behind the taxidermy contest. That's where we were set up, because I think that's kind of like you get put there your first year type deal.
You're not getting prime.
Yeah, unless you want to pay for a sponsored booth or something like that. But we tried to hit as much as we could on Thursday, and my goal was I wanted to either buy or look at a turkey gun, and I wanted to buy a turkey vest. That was my number one goal when we got there.
So folks bringing all their new products and stuff like that, setting them up to sell.
To sell.
You can go there and spend some money.
Like some of the turkey guns we looked at won't be released till middle of turkey season.
Yeah.
Like some of them's going to be spring of this year. So that was neat, because you do get to see a lot of stuff that's not hit the market or you've never heard of. Like, who surprised me, and I mean no disrespect, but you know the guy that was on the Outdoor Channel for years that had the magical rifle sling that done like 20 different
3-point
things?
sling? Yeah.
Man, that dude had a booth set up, and he had just him. The guy you seen on the commercial, he was working that booth and was selling the crap out of them slings.
That thing's been on the market a while.
Yeah.
Sling, man.
I mean, 30 years probably.
Yeah.
He was back with the tree lounge days.
I said probably one of the coolest people we seen up there was old school Nightingale.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like that's one of the original outdoor shows I ever saw, probably.
We listened to him on Cuz's podcast on the way coming home yesterday.
He was on Fistful of Dirt.
Yep.
Cuz was interviewing him, and I didn't know if those guys are even still, around here. I don't see much Nightingale anything.
They had a pretty good sized booth, and they sat there. I mean, me and Brad was there Thursday and Friday, and they sat there in a chair and shook hands, autographed, took pictures. As they're on up in age now, but I mean,
Yeah, I think he was 75, 80 years old.
He's up there, man.
Well, they was there as far as I knew all day, every day.
They're busy.
They used to make some good products. Still do, because I got a turkey vest I just bought in my office in there. It's dang good turkey vest.
I got one of the chairs going to be delivered tomorrow. He was talking about it on that podcast. I got to thinking, if I'm going to go to Texas and hunt, I don't want to be sitting on the ground.
The rattlesnakes.
So
You be digging thorns out of you, too.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I got me one of them little turkey chairs. I'm going to try it out. See if I flatten it.
Man, we seen the little short ground blinds we looked at. Have you
One
seen?
that sit out in front of you?
No. This looks just like a regular ground blind, like we pop up and just cut the height in half.
Yeah, it's like
The roof ain't this tall.
Hey, I had an outfitter. He's called himself an outfitter. Put me in one of them in Illinois. First time I ever went up there, it looked like a kid's teepee.
That's what this was. I thought
Camo. I had to pick it up. I said Indian style, and I picked it up, set it on top of me. Took my gun. I said, "This ain't gonna work." I was muzzle loading hunt.
You just seen those blinds
I
moving.
moved the whole thing.
But
that don't work.
We got there Thursday and put boots on the ground because I wanted to see. I had a list of people I wanted to go see and meet and talk to. I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to go look at. So we tried to cover as much ground, and we split up several times. Like me and Emily go one way, Jamie and Brad go the other. And I text like, all right, I'm over here. So-and-so's here. I'm looking at this. But when I really went in there to go shopping, we pulled up to walked up to the grounded guys. They got the grounded turkey vest and clothing. I wasn't real familiar with them, but I was like, I'm just looking for a turkey vest. Like I want a turkey vest that fits me. I want a turkey vest that isn't overly complicated. Like I'm just a introduction turkey, and got to talking to them guys and ended up buying a vest from them. Heck, I'm very, very pleased with the vest, but it was pretty cool to they were kind of a fairly new company too. I don't think they've been around but a couple of years, and they got some good stuff,
So I think
what'd you buy?
I bought just a couple of shirts and stuff. I really wouldn't mind. I already had a vest, so I wasn't in the market for nothing like far as like turkey hunting as far as the vest stuff goes. But
man,
I think Brad bought it's kind of like the binocular pack that goes on your chest. That's kind of like the thing.
The Minimalist.
Yeah, everybody's going
vest.
that route for the turkey hunting. I think Brad bought one of them.
We had that, and then went to the Montana Knife guys. Of course,
Covered up.
I mean, and they are like, I picked up one of their little knives, and it's so lightweight. I would be scared. You wouldn't realize you're holding a knife. Like you put it in your hand and hold it like you don't know you're holding anything. And I could, dude, it's light.
Cut your arm off.
Oh, heck yeah. In a heartbeat.
I've got one of their big cleavers, and it's bad to the bone, meat cleaver.
We, one of the cool things, though, we went and talked to the guys that do the track chairs for the physically challenged.
Yeah.
And to see the technology in that and like where they're wanting to go with that was pretty dang cool to have. It's awesome to see that much technology going to something that benefits the greater good. You know, like that was awesome. They had a super neat setup. They had 4 track chairs laid out?
I think so.
And I had no idea it was that many different variables, like different sizes, different, you know, if you're hunting in this terrain, this is better. If you're hunting in this terrain, that's better. But that was pretty dang cool.
Man, I tell you what, if they need somebody to prototype, you know, test those things or something like that, I got them a dude.
Man, Mr. Brian,
he fills all the protein feeders, him and his partner.
That's the guy in Texas, right?
In Texas. And that dude, let me tell this story real quick. So anyways, me and Malcolm are coming off this ridge or whatever, going into this valley, and Malcolm tells me to stop. He said, look, something's on the ditch. It's headed towards the ditch. Look. So I'm trying to get the binoculars up and look. Well, it's just a dark spot at first when I see it. It went behind a bush. And he's like, I think it's an elk or a deer. So I keep looking. Now, granted, this thing is hundreds and hundreds of yards.
Yeah, maybe
away.
1,000 yards.
Yeah,
it's a long
ways off. So we just kind of stop and we're glassing and waiting on it to come out behind the bush, and it comes out behind the bush. It's Mr. Brian.
In his wheelchair.
On his freaking wheelchair, out in the middle of this Texas farm by himself, riding through them cactuses and them mesquite bushes and stuff.
I was like, when we rode down, it took us a minute to get down there to wind down to him. And Mikey had jumped out and was checking this area where we'd seen some turkeys the day before. And so I waited there for him. I didn't want to, you know, and I was like, man, I'll see if he's all right. You know, if he's lost or what's he's doing out here. That joker comes rolling up, slides that wheelchair sideways like he's drifted in there. What y'all out here doing? I was like, I got the same question for you. He said, I'm shed hunting. He said, we saw one with the drone, and his buddy Steve was another canyon over trying to get it. He said, I decided to go for a ride. And he was, man, like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere, thousands of yards away from me. He drives a van. It's got one of those doors you flip open, the ramp comes down, and he takes off. Man, that's a bad dude.
I don't know what that chair is he's got, but
it had wheels. It wasn't even a track.
Yeah, it had like little mud grip tires on it.
They had to be solid
rubber.
4
other smaller wheels around it.
Yeah.
Like back and front, and it was, man, he could go went anywhere.
He amazed me.
Was that Action?
Action, yeah. Action track chair.
He amazed me. He could definitely put one to the test.
Yep.
Oh, it's pretty neat. Got to go talk to the guys at Rolling Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
They hooked me up. It's like we went in there and we got talking, and I was looking. They had a whole selection of mouth calls and slate calls, and they had a ton of stuff. Great shirts, and I actually got a couple shirts and hoodies from them. But got talking. He said, "Man, what kind of call do you like?" I said, "You're talking to the idiot of calling. Like, we'll figure it out." He's like, "You like using a mouth call?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Give me something that is simple and I can do anything I want to on it." He said, "Well, I'll give you the one I like." So he went over and pulled one off called the Karen.
Yeah.
Dude, that call's so easy to blow.
You make some noise with it?
Yeah. I ain't saying it's the right noise, but I can make some noise, you know. But we got talking to them, and I ended up getting one of their, what was it called? The Presidential Thunder slate calls. Got old Trump holding a turkey over his back. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill one with it this year.
Oh, I got to give me one of them. That's collective.
It's a good sounding call.
Yeah. What is it called? The Presidential
Presidential, I think. Presidential Thunder.
We might not be able to take that to Texas. Our turkeys may run for the border.
Yeah.
You get on the north end of the place. We'll get on the south.
I felt like we was running border patrol over there where we were.
Texas.
But I ended
All
up.
them birds may not be native.
Yeah, they ain't got their.
Yeah.
But we ended up. I bought a ton of shirts. Bought me some more alpaca socks, which
you swear by them, don't you?
Mark kind of got suckered in on this deal.
I didn't get suckered in, but I told myself, man, if I find some, you know, that's a good price, I want to try like a different brand, you know, because I've been buying the Hollow. I think, Hollow. And they had another brand up there, and they were pretty nice, and it was like, buy 3, get the 4th one free. I was like, screw it, give me 3 pair. $120 later, I had 4 pairs of socks.
You got socks for life now, huh?
No, I got 4 pair. I can't even make it through a whole week. But they're good socks. I think the Hollows may be a little better, but
how was Trent? Did y'all hang out with him much? Or?
Yeah. He brought in some shirts. Of course, he had the Bad Luck Hunting Club, and then had the looked like Tim Hudson on the back of the shirt. Said, "You gonna tote one, boy?"
Yeah, had the glasses pulled down like a school teacher, and
But he sold some shirts. Corey had his blinds there. Man, we had a good bit of interest in the blinds for
Sell
sure.
some blinds.
Sold some blinds. And that was another thing. It's like you get out there and get to looking. Like there is so much more as far as like products out there for the hunt world now. Like used to, you had 3 or 4, elevated blinds that were, nice. Now, dude, if you can dream it, they can build it. Like it's some crazy hunt blinds up there.
So other than turkey stuff, there's a lot more. Like,
good Lord, there's
Dude,
plenty of duck calls.
I was so
Duck
sick of listening to duck calls. Like I'm talking.
They need to make a duck call federation or something. Blow them things somewhere else.
I'm sure the DU has a big national one too.
Man, that literally, for real, Friday, my head was like throbbing because you don't just like on the duck call. It's like you're all in every ounce of air you got.
Everybody goes by there's blowing on the duck call.
Man,
Them young boys getting
big old
competition hell.
So you got to have you got
to wear Sitka.
You got to have square-toed boots on.
Square-toed boots. Flat-billed hat.
The hat and a big bushy mustache to fit in the 20-year group now.
It's just a big old douche orgy of blowing duck calls, all it is. I'm sorry. I don't mind listening to the turkey calls because some of them old scoundrels up there can flat sound good. But to me, a duck call is not something I want to listen to all day.
Did y'all go listen to the turkey call competition?
Yes.
We listened to the kind of the very, on the first day we went. So they were still, everybody was coming.
Like prelims, I guess you'd say, yeah.
So they were eliminating them. And man, they had a little kid that come up there, and I don't know how well he done, but he come out there, and this little boy might have been 7, 8.
If he had a beard and feathers, he was full on strutting.
Yeah.
Really?
He come out there, he was cocky. A kid cocky. He was cool.
Yeah.
He had his chest come out, and he got that box call, and he hit it up, and he'd slap it, and he sounded daggone good.
Well, they've got different divisions, don't they? They got
this was a friction and mouth call. Yeah. So, like, you had teammates. So, like, your teammate would do the mouth call. You would do whatever friction call you wanted to. And then they had another guy we watched that was blind.
I wanted to talk to him, and I met him.
I walked up and said, dude, you freaking killed it, man. Because he had his partner walked him out on stage, put his hand on his shoulder, carried him out there, gave him the box call, and they would let him know when he was supposed to do his thing. And I guess your senses, because you can't see, your hearing and your ability to actually like dial, dude. I could have listened to him do it all day. He was good.
Yeah.
I don't know what call they was making, but it was, not particularly just him, but everybody was doing. I couldn't freaking hear it. I don't know what the heck it was. But
it was when they were doing their, what do they call it? The hen assembly.
It was like,
and then like right before the fly down cackle, it's just like, just super quiet.
Yeah. 3 yips.
Yeah, like you just barely hear it.
Yeah, we was kind of far back in the room, and I couldn't hardly hear it.
You look over at Emily, and she's trying her best to hear it.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty.
Did your wife like it?
Yeah, she has a good time. She don't care nothing about the turkey calling because, again, her theory on that, which we might need to send an email, is my wife may have fixed all these turkey calling championships how to make it easy. She said just put them all in the same room, turn one hen loose, and whichever hen that goes to wins.
Call it to it.
If you can call that hen to you in a room, you're doing something.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Jamie, what was your take on it? First time going.
Thursday, Thursday was great. I had a good time Thursday. I don't feel like, we covered a lot of ground, but then again, we didn't. Because Friday, I'm like, well, dang, I didn't even see this booth, and I was wanting to go in there. Friday was chaos to me. My nerves would have been through the roof on Saturday.
Saturday was Friday times 2.
Yeah, I couldn't have.
Like, you probably wouldn't like that.
No, I'd have tucked up in one of them booths.
Yeah, just man the booth. Yeah.
Part of it I understand, part of it I don't. To me, I'm going there whether I'm duck hunting, turkey hunting, deer hunting, elk, whatever, outdoors. Man, it was people selling jewelry. It was people selling spices, and to me, that
massages.
We
had them full on flea market folks.
Yeah, it was some flea market.
It was some of them there. It was some.
But no offense to them, some of these folks that had nothing to do with hunting had some of the best booths in the place.
Yeah,
really.
Like it was, they had some good booths.
Who was the biggest booth you saw?
Mossy Oak.
Oh,
yeah. It ain't even, don't even have to ask
Shout
that.
out to Mossy Oak.
Mossy Oak owns that place.
No, they had a huge. Their setup was probably half this building.
Really?
Probably.
Yeah, it's big. They have a ton of, and that's what I go for, is because you do get to see a lot of new apparel and like new shirts and new jackets and stuff like that. You get to go see stuff coming out, hats, anything like that. There's plenty.
So you got socks, you got a vest. What else did you buy?
Bought mouth call, bought a glass call, bought, I don't know what all I got.
You spent some money.
Oh yeah, I spent some money.
Yeah,
I didn't.
You were going to get a shotgun.
I was going to get a shotgun.
Did you find? Was there any guns there?
There was plenty of guns there.
What impressed you the most?
Rete.
Really, a Rete?
A Rete.
I'm not a turkey guy, but if I was buying a new shotgun, to me, for the money, what you get, that's what I'd buy.
I'm Benelli through and through. Every shotgun I got's Benelli, and I'll buy another Benelli tomorrow. Went up there to look at a certain gun, and pretty much I felt like my money wasn't no good.
All right.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Was that busy?
No, they wasn't busy.
Just kind of lack of respect.
I mean, it was no. Anyways, I ain't going into that hole because it hacked me off.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I know what I ain't buying now.
They didn't want to sell you one.
No,
and you was ready to buy one.
and it wasn't even that they were selling them there. I just had questions, and you know, kind of how like you walk into some of these gun shops, you're already a dummy when you walk in the door because I know more than you, and that's kind of the vibe I got.
Okay,
and it wasn't Benelli. It was not Benelli.
Yeah,
but we kind of walked around, and I was like, man, Jody's got a Rete, and there's a Rete booth. And I walked in, and I said, I tell you what, I come here to buy X, Y, and Z gun. Tell me why I shouldn't. And he said, I ain't got no problem with that. And he showed me, and for the money, and I'm not, yes, it's dumb to think about spending $2,500 just for a turkey gun. When you look at it, man, it's forcing cone's already been lengthened. It's already got trigger work. Everything is set up, ready to go. $740.
that's not bad.
And I mean, it's
what's the length? The 26,
22-inch barrel.
22. Wow.
And there's actually Rete and another company. I can't think of what it was called. But if you close your eyes, and I handed you.
Oh, that was that Bernetti or Beretti.
I can't remember now.
It's just like Beretta, but you say it different. You literally take the bolt out of a Super Black Eagle 3 and you slide it right in that one and it shoots. It's identical.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could pick either one of them.
Clone.
Like $500.
Yeah. If you was blindfolded, you could tell the difference if you picked either one of them up.
Yeah.
I really don't think you could.
Ever since Benelli lost that patent, everybody's jumping on board, which I don't blame them. That's an awesome performing gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, so we met a guy that owns the Lodge in Franklin, which is,
if you're looking for, that's a nice gun shop.
Franklin, Tennessee. They got a heck of a gun shop. They got two young girls. I don't know how old they were, probably early 20s.
So y'all drove to?
We drove over. That's where Brad bought his Rete from.
Was Franklin outside of that?
Yeah, like 20 minutes.
Okay.
It ain't far. Pulled in there, and there was two young girls working the counter. And, you know, most time, I mean, no offense, most time you walk in, you see two young girls, they're part-time help. They're just there to, you know, they got a job.
Yeah.
Dude.
Not these two.
Not these two.
These girls.
They knew more about everything behind that counter than any individual I ever met. And I ain't talking about just shotguns or they knew the whole, and I told the owner, I said, dude, them two girls you got working, they're freaking awesome. Because, I mean, they knew the ins and outs of every gun in that counter. And we went in there anyways. They had several Retes in stock. I wanted to get a pistol grip one. They ended up, they didn't have a pistol grip, but Brad bought the last of the 20 gauge. And they was like, hey, you buy this, take it home. We'll send you the pistol grip stock. Just keep them both.
So he's getting two stocks with one gun. So it's a pretty cool deal.
So you couldn't get one though?
They didn't have one. He said, we'll have some more in. And I texted him the other day, and he's supposed to let me know as soon as the new shipment comes in. And he's just going to ship it to the FFL. Yeah. But
that's cool. What all? They sell a lot more shotguns than they did long guns, or
they were wiped out pretty good. I mean, they had a huge gun selection, but he said, man, since the holidays, they ain't quite got fully restocked. But they had
Mark
Beretta,
Mark fell in
Benelli.
love with the Gunworks.
Yeah, I picked up a Gunworks bolt action 300 mag, and
you better bring your finances.
If I won't tell you if I win the lottery, but there will be signs.
That's one of those.
That's one of those signs.
So you with a Gunworks hat on?
I picked it up and I was like, dude, like I love my Christian arms. I love my Tika. They feel good. They're smooth. There's no comparison. Like no comparison. I picked it up and held it, and I looked at Jamie and I handed it. I said, here, look at this. Gave it to him. He's like, man, this feels good. He's, how much is it? I said, $14,000.
Yeah.
We just handed it right back across the counter.
She had a white glove
Yeah.
back to him.
But I will definitely be going back for sure. Hands down.
Did you get to go talk to the Rolling Thunder folks?
Yeah, spent some good time with them. They're excited. You know, when's the dates on that?
June
something.
June 10th or 11th,
Let me
I think.
look that up.
So that's a, what do they call it? Golf scramble fundraiser.
Yeah.
So they're super excited about that. And I think there was a couple of people up there we talked to that's actually attending that too. So,
Oh, good. I thought I had it on our calendar, but I don't see it. So
Well, if that's not on there, everything else is.
anyway, that's coming up. We'll know next week. We'll talk about the actual date for that.
So when turkey season opens, if Brad does not kill a turkey, something's bad wrong. He's got the new pouch. He's got new gun. And he bought with it Tetra,
the hearing aids.
hearing device that Tetra makes. That's
Yeah.
pretty daggone
He's
impressive.
geared up.
Oh, that was something else, which this may be with any gun. Those Rattays, if you're shooting TSS or anything like that, they're shooting just regular full choke and it's getting tighter patterns at 40 to 50 yards than buying one that's like overly restricted.
Mhm.
Which that was pretty cool. But no, I think that's about it as far as NWTF. Hang on, we do it like that. Do y'all have any questions for us?
Man, y'all covered it. I'm ready to go, though. I know I'm ready to go to it. I think
I will go back just to eat.
Sushi.
Hands down. I love sushi. I don't know what I'm getting half the time. And me and Brad, Mark, and Emily went there, and Mark ordered I don't know, what was it, 8 or 9 rolls?
A
probably.
bunch.
what's it called? The
Blue sake sushi.
Hands down.
It's the best sushi you'll ever eat in your
if
life.
you're in Nashville, go to Blue Sake.
It's either you got one downtown Nashville, one in Franklin. There's one in Birmingham. There's one in Indianapolis. Well, that's the one we went to, the one you liked.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I will, I got a little pressure, so before I go back, I will be ready. I was probably the only person in there that couldn't eat with freaking, I had a fork.
Chopstick.
Man, them chopsticks kicking my butt. I couldn't pick up nothing with chopsticks.
So I got us a question of the week.
All right, what is it?
Are you a minimalist or overpacker when it comes to your turkey vest?
I'm a minimalist because I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I've got a slate call, box call, a couple, 2 or 3 mouth calls, and
Because I mean,
that's about it.
Wouldn't
Long
you
as
say?
can fit me in the vest?
As long as I can get Mikey, he's tandem. I got him on my back.
But I mean, you think about it. Like years ago, like Daddy's got a turkey coat. It ain't a vest. Like it's a full on coat. And like you are seeing more people get out of that and get to more stuff you can maneuver around in and cover ground more lighter. And that was one of the things, like every booth we went to had a vest that's meant bare minimum, and then they had the vest for the guy that
So,
wants everything.
We had this conversation, Mikey, and you did a video recently on different turkey vests. And
Yeah.
so what was your take on it?
So, I mean, the turkey vest I did do one of those coat style ones. The video's coming out, so y'all can watch me do all this, kind of go through it. I mean, I hit on a lot of the main points of the vest and stuff like that. Maybe not every one, but most of them. But yeah, some of those vests, I mean, when you get them, they're kind of bulky and big and heavy. And I don't think it's a bad design. I just don't think it's designed for every region of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get in those bigger, bulkier vests, it's got all the cushions and 9,000 pockets in it. That may be more for a guy that's, hunting where he's going to walk for a whole day by himself. He's going to hike miles and miles and miles of some kind of public land, open ground or something like out west somewhere, trying to kill a bird, and he's going to have to pack some stuff. But like where we hunt here in Mississippi, I mean, we may walk a lot, but it's so daggum hot here sometimes. First part of the season's pretty mild, but then you start getting in them days where it hits 75 degrees. You're not going to want to be walking around in that coat packed full of junk.
Every bit of extra weight and all that. I mean, it's just be wearing on you.
Yeah.
To me, it comes down to your style. Are you running gunner? Or you just go sit and wait? Because, I mean, you can take more stuff if you just sit and hang out all day. You got to have your water, your snacks, all that stuff.
That's right.
But running gun, you want to be lean. You don't want to have a big bulky pack on. You don't want to have all this stuff you're toting around. You're covering miles trying to chase a bird.
Yeah. If you're going to be up moving around, you're an aggressive hunter. I mean, and I am. And you want to like this. You want just what you need.
Yeah. Well, also we talked about depending on, you said temperature, like where we went out in Texas scouting, you ain't gonna take the big vest that I got. You're gonna burn up because it's like when we go back, their season opens up like March 27th in that unit, and it could get 90 degrees, and you talk about hunting in 90-degree temperature, and you got on all your
Long sleeves,
trying to say concealed. You don't want a big bulky vest that's got all this stuff on it. It'll kill you. But you got to have a seat. You ain't gonna just sit down on the ground out there.
I think you need, how you pack is, it's going to depend on where you're hunting and what style of hunter you are. Like you said, I mean, if you're one of those guys like sit up there on the hill and just call all morning and don't ever move, hey, pack what you want, snacks and all that stuff. But if you're that guy like we were talking about, if you got to get up and move, 400 or 500 yards, a half a mile or something like that, trying to chase birds in hot weather and stuff like that. Yeah, you don't want a lot of stuff packed on you.
I like that idea of that chest pack because you put what you want, it's right there on you, and there ain't nothing weighing you down.
Well, I think too is like my daddy turkey hunted when I was with him 20 something years ago. It wasn't as mouth calls wasn't where they're at now. I mean, back then you had one or two versions of mouth calls. Everything else was slate or box calls pretty much. So you was carrying a lot of stuff. So I guess all that stuff's changed too.
Yeah. Me, I think Daddy have a hooter,
I mean,
two box calls, couple slate calls.
Yeah. I mean, now you can get by with a mouth call.
I usually take, what all usually goes in your pack? There's probably another discussion for a whole podcast.
Yeah.
Real quick. I mean, keep it minimal.
Would you think you were a minimalist, or do you take more than you feel like you need to?
I mean, sometimes I'm in the kind of the in-between, I guess. I've got at least 3 mouth calls. I've got 2 pot calls. I got 1 box call. And I got a locator call. I got an owl hooter.
You could be like me last year. I had a big old turkey vest and I carried a mouth call and a hooter. It didn't kill nothing. That could be why. Well, that's all I got.
That's it, fellas. Well, I enjoyed hearing about the NWTF. It's got me fired up to go next year. And that was always our vacation time. That's why I missed it. And my wife gave me the green light to not schedule vacation. We could schedule NWTF. So,
schedule around it.
Yeah, we're going to schedule around it. So I'm definitely going to go next year. It's going to be exciting.
Man, we do appreciate it. Tyler, what do we have dropping this week?
This week we are doing y'all trimmed out the fire lanes and stuff like that. So we have that video coming out, the blower video, and then we're looking at Mikey's turkey vest video dropping. So y'all be on the lookout for that on all the Buck Junkie socials.
We get some fire content.
Yep. Fire and good eating.
Fire in the hole. Y'all ain't see my new turkey gun. We can do a review on it. So I need to shoot it anyway.
Yeah.
Get it tuned up because it ain't long, fellas.
I meant to tell you this. Y'all get a kick out of this. Jody went to Sportsman Warehouse last weekend. Yep. Of course, he didn't tell nobody. Bought a gun, and when you go to the cash register, they pull a balloon out and they pop it. And it might be 10% off. It might be whatever. He got a freaking Mossberg turkey gun 50% off.
No, really?
Dang.
At Sportsman Warehouse. Dang. I'm like, man, you could have told me. I'd have sent you some money. We'd popped all kind of balloons.
All right. Well,
we appreciate y'all listening. Y'all check us out on all the platforms. If y'all got any questions, y'all let us know. We're fixing to get back to work, get ready to do some burning. Have a good week, and we'll see y'all next time.
We gone.